After many years of anticipation, Starfield is finally here, and in this video, we're going to explore 10 things I wish I knew before playing the game. Hopefully these tips will help your playthrough go a little smoother. Number 1. Looting extra guns for extra ammo. One unfortunate thing I've noticed while playing Starfield so far is that ammo can be incredibly stingy at times. It's incredibly expensive to buy ammo from shops, and unless the enemies you're fighting are using the same ammo as you, then you may have a difficult time keeping stocked up. One tip to help you get a lot of extra ammo is to make sure not just to grab the spare ammo off your fallen enemies, but their guns as well. You can sometimes double the amount of ammo you will loot by taking the weapons. And even if you don't want to keep the gun, you can always just sell it or drop it later. This one little gameplay tweak saved me from running out of ammo on numerous occasions. Seriously, I wasn't expecting Starfield to have survival game levels of ammo management, but here we are. Number 2. Persuasion is overpowered. I love playing a fast-talking, silver-tongued protagonist in RPGs, so if there is ever a chance to boost my Riz in a video game, I'm gonna take it. And in Starfield, Persuasion is one of the best skills you can invest in. Now obviously, non-charisma builds are entirely viable, but if you like this kind of playstyle, I highly recommend choosing one of the backgrounds that comes with a Persuasion skill point, such as the Industrialist. I don't want to get into spoilers, but let's just say some quests in this game require Persuasion to get the best ending. You'll basically be mediating a lot of disputes in Starfield, so it helps to be able to Riz your way through them. On top of that, you can get insane discounts on things like hiring new crew members. I was able to haggle Marika down from 15k to 7.5k, which is an insane deal. Obviously, you can still attempt persuasion checks in most situations, even if you don't have the perk, but getting that 10, 20, or even 50% boost to your success will make all the difference in the world. Number 3. What are the best skills to take? So let's talk about some other important skills to invest in during the early game. Weightlifting is an incredibly important skill because it will expand your inventory size. And let me tell you, inventory space is incredibly limited in this game. Even with bringing a companion along as a pack mule, I'm often running out of space and needing to go back to town to sell off my loot. So any skills that boost inventory space are a blessing. Boost pack training unlocks the ability to use the jetpack, which is great in exploration. I also like to have the security skill because there are a lot of locked crates in this game, and unlike Skyrim, you can't even attempt to pick certain locks without investment in security. Stealth and thief are also important if you like to steal things. Pickpocketing in particular can be incredibly overpowered, and I was able to bypass an annoying objective during a fetch quest by simply stealing the thing I needed from this snaky NPC. You also want to invest in whatever weapon class you prefer to use the most. It's important to point out that you cannot reset your skill points in Starfield, so choose wisely. While there is no level cap, and you can theoretically unlock everything eventually, there are an insane number of skills in this game, and leveling up takes time. So I think most players will not unlock every skill before completing their playthrough. Just something to keep in mind. Number 4. How to get a better ship. While the Frontier starter ship is a fairly decent one, there are much more powerful ships you can unlock in the early game if you know where to look. During one of the early game main story missions called the Old Neighborhood, you will board a ship full of spacers and mercenaries. One of the spacers will drop a note called Secret Outpost, which starts a side quest called Mantis. This quest has some incredible loot, including a legendary armor set and a powerful starship called the Razor Leaf. You can also unlock another powerful ship called the Star Eagle by completing the Freestar Rangers side quest chain, which starts in Aquila City in the Cheyenne system. So be sure to take some time to complete those quests, as you'll get some incredibly powerful early game upgrades that you might otherwise miss. Number 5. Offload loot before missions. As I mentioned earlier, inventory space is incredibly limited in Starfield, so it's important to take some time to offload your excess loot before setting out on long missions. You have some extra storage on your starship next to the pilot seat, and if you want to sell things off, you can visit trade kiosks or vendors in cities. You can even sell directly from your ship inventory as well at these kiosks. Just check the prompts at the bottom of the screen to swap to your ship inventory. I recommend selling off extra guns, spacesuits, and junk. For resources, I recommend storing those on your ship, since you may need those later for crafting or building outposts. But you won't really need resources while just exploring, so don't let that clog up your inventory. Number 6, where to sell contraband. You may come across some items that ain't exactly legal from time to time, and carrying these on your ship poses a huge risk because various militaries will scan you for contraband when you enter their systems. If you want to sell contraband, be sure to visit a trade authority building. The first one you'll find is in New Atlantis, and there are trade authority depots in many major cities across the game. These are the only places that will take hot goods. Number 7, best missions to make money. There are tons of quests in Starfield, but the rewards are not all created equal, so I wanted to point out a few early game missions where you can earn a lot of credits. While exploring the mining colony of Sidonia on Mars, there is a quest chain you can pick up from the local mine boss. And without getting too spoilery, there is a part of one of these quests where you will do a task for the governor. And if you explore the side objectives thoroughly, you will have an opportunity to get a lot of money out of the guy, like over 10,000 credits. Most of the major faction quests like the Freestar Rangers, UC SysDef, Crimson Fleet, etc. also have big payouts. And I usually neglect the main story in Bethesda games, but it's also worth doing at least a couple of main story missions. I think the first one you do in New Atlantis pays like 8k and gets you a new companion. Number 8, stealing is overpowered. If you're interested in making money by less savory means, a great way to earn a bunch of extra creds is to steal from shops. Just be sure to be crouched and out of sight while you do this. Quick save can be your friend here. I was really hoping you could put a bucket over the shopkeeper's head like Skyrim, but I haven't seen any buckets so far. Number 9, getting into the Crimson Fleet. I will keep this relatively vague for spoiler reasons, but one of the best quest chains I've experienced so far is super easy to miss, and it's the one involving the Crimson Fleet and UC Systems Defense. Basically, to kick this off, you'll need to get arrested. So you can do this by stealing or assaulting someone in plain sight of the guards, or in my case, I got scanned with illegal contraband on my ship. At this point, you'll be tasked with helping the United Colonies infiltrate the Crimson Fleet. There are a lot of different major decisions you can make throughout this quest, and I'm super excited to explore them all. But I'll just leave it at that for now because I want you to experience this questline for yourself. Number 10, the Adoring Fan. I got a laugh out of an old Oblivion meme getting reinvigorated in Starfield. During character creation, you can select a trait called Hero Worshipped, which will give you the option to recruit a free crew member called the Adoring Fan. This, of course, is a throwback to the Adoring Fan who would follow you around in Oblivion after you gained fame in the arena. Hilariously, they got the same voice actor to play the Adoring Fan in Starfield, so I just got a kick out of this Easter egg.
By Vectera, by Vectera, by Vectera! I can't believe it! Is it you? Is it really, really you?
He actually is a relatively decent crew member as well, and you don't have to pay to get him, so if you don't mind burning a trait on this in character creation, it can be fun to pick up the Adoring Fan. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more Starfield and RPG videos. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.